Serious male sex workers. What is something that general population wouldn't consider thinking of, due to sex work being more female-focused? You have to find a tactful way of explaining to the client you won't come because you're usually not enjoying it.
You better be bisexual because most of your clients are still going to be men, and of the very few women that you get to sleep with, most will be hideous. The bachelorette parties are not as wild as the movies make them seem, and then wild ones are usually reserved for the biggest, baddest and sexiest guys, and there's always someone bigger, badder and sexier than you.
In my younger days I was a sex worker. We have a lot similarities to female sex workers. Almost all male clients. Same legal issues. Guys ignoring boundaries, etc. A big difference I noticed was pay. I made significantly less than my female counterparts. I don't know why, but people were just not willing to pay as much for a male sex worker during my time as an escort. Also, to be competitive you have to be in super good shape and well groomed. Or in my case have a weird kink guys liked. I was still all of the above, but instead of being jacked I looked very girlish.
It's mostly men you will be sleeping with. At 18 I became an escort for gay and bi men. Got good money, but I have been in a few dodgy, dangerous situations. Some guy was looking me to go and have car fun with him. He drove me out to the country and started asking me creepy questions. His demeanor changed and he wouldn't tell me where we were going. We were 30 minutes outside the city and he wouldn't stop the car. I begged him to tell me where he was taking me, but he wouldn't acknowledge me and had a space-eyed look in his eyes. Told him my mom was gonna be worried if I wasn't going to be home soon, and told him she was sick. He seemed to snap out of it. We didn't do anything and he didn't give me money. I was preparing to fight him. I was a young twink and he was older and bigger built. The asshole dropped me off 20 minutes away from home and took me an hour to walk it. I cried the whole way, shaking. Looking back now I'm quite embarrassed, but the money's good. Was working 30 hours a week at the time as well. That experience turned me off it. Please be careful. Just because you're a man doesn't mean you're immune to sexual assault. Plenty of serial killers kill men. Don't be naive. I was making roughly £400 a fortnight from meeting guys alone when I'd done it regularly. Normally would charge $200 for few hours or a night if the guy was nice.
Old gay men like to pay to watch you shower and suck you off after.
Because the vast majority of your clients are male, you're at nearly the same risk of violence as females. Some cops are fairly empathetic and understanding toward female sex workers. I've never met one who is empathetic or understanding to male sex workers. Female sex workers often service their local cops for free in exchange for protection. It's very difficult to find that same arrangement as a male sex worker. Some women workers see their clients and they just want a girlfriend experience where they talk or cuddle or just hang out. I have never had a client who didn't want sex. You will have to get used to the idea of using Viagra or Cialis because most clients expect you to last for a long time. It's uncomfortable. If you run out of hard, the nice clients will give you 5 minutes to rest and try again. A surprising number of men who complain about sexless marriages are in a sexless marriage because they're gay and are simply not turned on by their spouse. The porn scripts are rare, and even when you have one, it's not like in the movies. I have never been hired to a bachelorette party where any of the women look like the young beauties in porn. I have only ever once been hired to service a wife because the husband can't do it, and both of them were not attractive. And maybe the least surprising, most of my regular clients are some of the most homophobic, anti-LGBTQ people out there.
Some guys only want to cuddle for 2 hours while listening to music.
I had a really unusual experience. I only had a few clients and they were all divorced women with kids that wanted a break from being a single mom. So I folded laundry, made dinner, and then went to the bedroom. There were times bedroom never happened. A few days later she would give my number to a friend who was in a similar position. It was an interesting summer.
I've done male sex work. Something I found interesting at first is that in my experience it was always more common that guys pay to suck a cock, and if they are more top-oriented they're usually looking for an experience that provides them with a sense of confidence from being with a young attractive male rather than the actual pleasure derived from any act. But I never worked on the street and only had regulars I knew from Grindr to supplement beer and weed money while working or going to school.
Worked as a security guard in a casino. We had dozens of escorts through every night, male and female. The guys typically had the same clients as the girls, but from where I was standing got treated worse. Most of security treated them like crap, zero sympathy. The big difference was the girls knew there were guards they could bat their eyelashes at and they'd look the other way. The guys mostly didn't have that option. I always tried to be nice to the sex workers, they had enough on their plates without me being an asshole.
You realize just how many straight men are not really straight. Gay, bi men in the closet don't have a lot of experiences to have sex. I was the only bisexual most of my friends and peers knew when I was 18 to 25. This meant I was somewhat of a target for closeted straight men who saw me as the only opportunity to experiment, because everybody else was straight. And #X2OOB. I was sort of involved in a bar scene with a group of friends who I saw every once in a while. I wasn't a very serious sex worker. I had done some stuff in college, but I wasn't really a professional. Regardless, I remember when I told them I had sometimes let closeted guys pay me for sex. The next few months saw 4 of them approach me for the same thing, out of like 12 to 13 guys. One of them said he had sexual experiences with another one back in college. Nearly half of them were bisexual, and all of them were in the closet. The sheer amount of sexual frustration between them must have been insane.
Strip club DJ here. Male dancers get sexually assaulted just as much as females. Gay dudes can, not all are, be super aggressive when in the club. Edit * males in general are super aggressive. I was not trying to make a generalization about a certain LGBTQ community.
That being forced is common. I was raped twice. I am pansexual, but my first experience with a man was being raped when I had to do sex work or die on the street. Also that there are a lot of married homophobes into being beep hard while being told they are whores. It's oddly common considering they still claim to be straight. You get a lot more men than women as a male escort in terms of offers and inquiries.
As an ex-male sex work in Melbourne, I found it interesting that most clients were actually really respectful and not bad looking at all.
My close friend was a male escort and more than half of his clients didn't want sex, either cuddling, and one just hit him saying stuff like "you'll never touch me again" for hours.
Everyone is treated badly, objectifying and degrading, not just women.
I think people would be surprised at the number of guys who want to watch someone else beep their wife, partner.
Feet/tickling makes more money than you'd think. Especially with men who have muscle and look tough, all that jazz. There are men who look like total geeks and they make a living off it. It's shockingly easy to set up.
Not sure if this counts, but I've, am 21, been paid for sex and for cuddling and the like. Older women often wanted to cuddle or would want a sperm donor. Younger women often wanted to experiment with BDSM/masochism/ etc. That's a lot of what I do, but it would always turn into me listening and playing therapist. It shocked me personally to know that everyone pretty much has the same few problems. After initial introductions and surprise, of course, I can always expect that one or a few of a list of 10 things leads up to why I'm there. I think people would be shocked that even attractive younger women would pay for services of some kind. I see other men's experiences here. I feel sorry that many of them have been abused by women. All of the girls I have met with have been very kind, just very misplaced in society. Something I like to do for younger women is give them motivational talks, like a father figure kind of thing. It always works and it feels nice to have maybe pointed someone on a right path. With older women it's often reassurance that they're still confident and attractive. I end up doing more aftercare than sexual stuff, haha.
When I was a fiend, I used to find guys that would blow me and pay me $100 to do it. Pretty much every day.
Male sex workers are still primarily servicing male clients.
May your day be filled with joy and happiness. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe for more quality content every day.